I spent 20 years publishing videos in Danish on this platform with no luck whatsoever in getting any spread, getting any attention for real. But then I started using multilingual audio, and that was really a game changer. MLA, as it's shortened, was really the thing that I needed. After 3 months, I actually got monetized after trying for so long. This channel, The Global Tribe, is my log channel for everything I learn while I'm experimenting with MLA or multi-language audio. I'm sharing the bumps on the road and I'm sharing the successes. I'm doing it right here, but not in a polished way. And then I'm hoping that you will share your experiences in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. You know the drill. It really helps this channel to spread so we can get more people into working multilingual. These are the notes for today, and this is what I'm going to share. First of all, I'm going to share why I've chosen the languages that I have chosen. Then I'm going to talk about the languages that I'm testing. Then I'm going to talk about the results so far. I've been doing this kind of over the last year, but the results from the last months are kind of the really interesting stuff. But let me share one single number for now, and I hope that will be enough to kind of awake your interest and your attention, and you will stay for the rest of the video. And the number is 60%, which is what I got of viewing in my Danish language videos over the last 90 days. And as you probably can figure out quite quick, that leaves me with 40% of viewing in non-Danish languages. Danish is my mother tongue, that's what I produce in, and the 40% of viewing on other languages is gained from subtitles and AI-generated dubbing. And let me just say that the most recent 28 days have even better numbers. Okay, let's get to it. Here are the languages I have chosen to work with and why. All my videos start in Danish. I produce them in Danish. So my channel is focusing on all the gadgets that hit home. Basically all the gadgets that make it more fun and more cozy to be at home. It can be record players or amplifiers. It can be the CDs, the vinyl that I play, why I buy it, where I buy it, and how I get the really interesting stuff. And recently I also started to cover smart home devices. Most of the music and the brands and the hi-fi speakers and stuff like that, it's international. So in that sense, I'm kind of helped from the beginning. The first language that I chose to work in, besides Danish, which is my mother tongue, it's the language that I'm kind of writing and producing all my videos in, was English. English is an absolute must on YouTube. I quickly found out that YouTube is so much better at actually understanding your content and the tone of your content when you provide YouTube with a decent English translation. So what I do first is I get a set of decent Danish captions. And what I do is I let an AI translate the decent Danish captions into a decent English subtitle. Then I upload the Danish language video to 11 Labs and I start to dub it in different languages. There is a big difference between the subtitles and the dub, and it does not originate from the same source. All the subtitles are generated from the captions, so that is a text-to-text translation. All the dubs are translated directly by 11 Labs from the original soundtrack into other languages. That's my workflow for now. In another video you can see my workflow much more detailed. Now you know about the English translation and dubbing, which is absolutely essential for success on YouTube. The next languages I'm working with is Spanish and Portuguese. Spanish and Portuguese for the very same reason. A lot of people only talk Spanish or Portuguese, and of course I want to provide them with a chance to see my video. One of the things I've learned is that in the different languages, different cultures, the different nations, you go to this experience in different ways. In English, you don't necessarily use dubbing that much. You would probably rather use the subtitles. In Spanish and Portuguese, it's more a go-to to watch something dubbed. The same goes for my neighboring country, Germany, who have been used to watching dubbed content on television for many, many years. I still provide German subtitles because it makes it so much easier for German search engines to actually index the video. But my thesis is that most German people will actually choose to watch the dubbed version of the video. In a later video, I'm going to talk about this difference between subtitles and dubbing. Absolutely, when it comes to the other neighboring countries to Denmark, Sweden and Norway, we are kind of in the same language zone. So for Swedes and Danes, there are some sweet spots where we can understand each other, but subtitles will definitely hit it home. In Norwegian, we are extremely close, and normally a Norwegian and Dane would understand each other just talking to each other. But still, subtitles are the key for actually getting indexed on Norwegian search engines so that they can find the video when they're looking for it. So these are the 6 languages that I'm providing every time I'm publishing a new video. It's English, Spanish, Portuguese, German, Norwegian and Swedish, and of course Danish. Then there are languages that I'm testing. If there are very big languages, should I provide for them? Or are these markets so saturated already with content that it's kind of not worth it? There are another reason for testing out languages. And the reason for that is that this is languages from countries that specifically have a big market and interest in hi-fi. It's Italy, it's France, and it's the Netherlands. What are the gains? Well, they're quite obvious. I've been trying multilingual audio for a year now, but for the last half a year, YouTube has been supporting MLA in a much better way. The numbers from the beginning of last year is not really that interesting because it was a quite different setup for small languages like mine. They have been doing the dubbing, the auto-dubbing for quite a while, but since I was working in Danish, it wasn't for me. It wasn't activated for me. But when I'm looking at the numbers for the recent 90 days, 60% of the viewing was on the original Danish videos. And that leaves 40% on the MLA videos, the multi-language audio videos. And that is both within subtitling and dubbing. Again, looking at the recent 90 days, 34% of this was English subtitles or dub. But even better than that, when I'm looking at the most recent 28 days, only 55% were the original Danish videos. And then on top of that, 36% of the viewing were the English subtitled and dubbed videos. What is interesting is that that still leaves 6% of viewing in other languages. And 3.5% of that viewing was either German dubs or German subtitles. So other languages than Danish and English are slowly gaining viewership. I find this extremely interesting. And what I mostly like about this is the movement. I can actually see that the numbers are growing. I can actually see that more and more of my viewership are coming from other languages than my mother tongue. The MLA strategy is working. I would never have reached a level where I could get monetized without the international viewership. Of course, not everything about multi-language audio is a walk in the park. I still find it very, very annoying that I can't internationalize my thumbnails. So I'm really impatiently waiting for YouTube to let me in on the test where I can work with thumbnails in different languages. Another thing that's very annoying at this point is that YouTube sometimes serves the wrong language to people. And it really gets them. And since not everybody knows that they can change the language, they can change the subtitles, they can change the dub specifically to their language, I am thinking that this must turn off some viewing. The last thing that is annoying me, which I have to work with at one point, is it's clear that the AI dub is not the best quality. I can see that the AI generated dubs only get around 75% of the view duration that my subtitled or my mother tongue videos get. But right now I'm focusing on getting the languages right. And then I can always work on getting a better result and thereby perfecting and reaching higher levels of view time duration. That was it for now. I'm going to log whatever I learn and experience through this MLA multi-language audio adventure, and I'm sharing it with you right here. That's why I'm hoping that you will subscribe. Please give this video a like so YouTube will see that it's good quality and hopefully spread it more. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.